About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free. Let's go, let's
I've improved by a whole grade.
I've improved
By a whole grade.
by a whole grade.
By a whole grade.
My teacher isn't just Mr. Maddock. It's a whole teaching team made up of James, Mike and Marta.
My classroom's all about doing and applying. My days standing at the front of the classroom with a PowerPoint are long gone.
I master every concept by learning at my own pace.
I spend 100% of my class time interacting and supporting individual students.
I move on only when the moment is right for me, not the whole class.
I know what each and every student is mastering and struggling on at every moment.
I know exactly what I need to learn next, and I can go back and review material at any time.
I spend my teaching time supporting and inspiring, not planning, delivering and marking.
I can learn from anywhere at any time.
I can switch off when school closes, knowing they are learning from the best.
My teacher has my homework marked before I get to class.
I set every piece of homework at the start of the year.
I'm 2 weeks ahead of my expected progress.
I can track everyone's progress with a swipe of a finger.
I can track my own progress and set my own targets.
I now have time to focus on developing the skills of every learner in my classroom.
I know exactly what it means to explain, evaluate and analyse, and I'm not afraid of any exam.
My lessons are now far more about the skills and the application, not just the content itself.
I've completely remodeled what it means to be a teacher in my classroom.
Hola, buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la 9ª sesión de revisión.
Hoy es martes 15 de mayo de 2018 y son las 4 de la tarde. Bienvenidos todos. Yo soy Marta y conmigo tenemos hoy a James. Hola James.
Hola.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás hoy?
Muy bien, hace calor.
¿Hace calor? Sí, un poco de calor.
Pero estoy bien.
Sí, perfecto, muy bien. Hoy no hace demasiado calor. Se está bien.
No, demasiado no.
No demasiado, perfecto. Y también
es agradable.
Es agradable, sí, hace una buena temperatura. Y también tenemos a James está aquí, tenemos a Mike. Hola Mike, buenas tardes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, buenas tardes. Muy bien, muy buen español, Mike, muy bien español. Bueno, y hoy la sesión, ¿de qué trata hoy la sesión? Hoy vamos a revisar la vida sana, vamos a también revisar un poco el voluntariado, being a volunteer, y cómo utilizar los verbos modales, cómo utilizar quiero, puedo, necesito y todos esos. Okay, so let me give you a few reminders. By the way, have you spotted that I'm wearing the same top as I'm wearing in the advert at the beginning of the session? If you have, congratulations, well done. Algunos recordatorios. Primero las notas, okay? Remember you've got the session notes in the description under here. So if you want to be, which you should, be taking notes of what I'm saying, the words I'm using, please do print that out and do take your notes there. And also there are practice activities that you can do during the session, in the little breaks, or straight after the session. Segundo, las actividades interactivas. James, can you show us where can we find interactive activities?
Sí. Un momento.
¿Dónde están las actividades interactivas?
Entonces, ¿qué tenéis que hacer?
Tenéis,
sí. Es visitar la página de EverLearner.com y es clicar aquí a News, Noticias.
Se clica aquí.
Se clica aquí. Y aquí tenemos unas cosas muy interesantes, aquí especialmente profesores de idiomas. Pero aquí tenemos Live Revision 2018, Interactive Questions. Se clica aquí y aquí tenemos, aquí abajo de todo, Spanish, GCSE, y Session 8.
9.
It's not on there yet, Marta.
It's not on there yet?
No, you've thrown me.
Oh.
I'll put it on there now. Well,
okay.
Just very imminently, there's going to be session 9 on here, and it's going to be the Sana and GC. So there, that's how you do it. I'll add that right now.
Okay.
It needs to be there.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Well, I think that went well.
That went really well. Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So this is the first way how you can interact with us or not. Depending on whether the question is up or not. The second way is using our hashtag almohadilla revision break. So do send pictures, do tell us, do show us what you're doing in your revision break. Whoever sends us probably the first picture will get a pack of the EverLearner roadmap for students. So please get taking part. Another reminder, microphone. Remember that once I start working away on the canvas, the noise, the sound levels might be different because we're using different microphones. So please adjust microphones as necessary. And whatever, I don't know how many reminders I've given you, but also remember that while you're watching, if you're watching this live, you can always stop us. Okay, you can stop if you need a wee, if you need to go and get a drink, if you need to go and eat something, stop, come back, press play, we'll still be there. You can always rewind us. Do you say rewind these days in the internet?
Drag back.
Drag back. Yeah, rewind is a little bit cassette, isn't it? It's a little bit old fashioned. And yeah, you can wind back, but you cannot fast forward, okay, because it hasn't happened yet. So unless you're Michael J. Fox and you're in Back to the Future, if that's not your case, then I'm afraid you can't go forward, okay? You'll just have to wait until it happens for real. So if that's all ready, we are going to get started with la vida sana y un poquito de voluntariado. ¿Sí? Vamos. Vale, pues ¿qué tenemos que hacer para llevar una vida sana. Pues para llevar una vida sana, notice llevar is to carry, in this case to lead, ¿ok? Para llevar una vida sana es importante. ¿Qué es importante? Pues es importante llevar una dieta sana o saludable o una alimentación sana o saludable. Okay, it's two words. Dieta, diet, alimentación, like the whole eating thing. And verbs we can use, as we said, is llevar. We can also talk about seguir. Seguir is to follow. Llevar is to carry or to lead in terms of leading a life. Okay? Vale, es importante también comer comida variada. Varied, ¿ok? Comer comida variada. ¿Y qué es la comida variada? Pues la comida variada está hecha de carne, la carne, el pescado, el marisco, la fruta, la verdura o las hortalizas y las legumbres. ¿Ok? Vale, la carne son cosas como el pollo, el cerdo, ¿ok? Pero también la ternera o el cordero, ¿ok? La ternera, beef, el cordero, lamb. Okay, so if la carne is meat, just go through all the list. I'm going to here for each of these categories. I'm only going to give you some of maybe the most obscure or or the ones that you may not have thought about. But do go through the whole list, okay? La ternera, el cordero. La ternera, beef, el cordero, lamb. Also, think about expressions like la carne roja, red meat, o la carne blanca, white meat. Also, bear in mind something like el conejo, rabbit, very popular meat in Spain, okay, to eat rabbit. So don't be surprised if something like that, came up. El pescado. Tenemos en español el atún, el salmón, las sardinas, pero también el bacalao, cod, el bacalao o la merluza, hake. El marisco, shellfish, el marisco, tenemos los mejillones, mussels, las gambas, prawns o las almejas, clams. La fruta, tenemos las cerezas, cherries, las cerezas, el melocotón, peach, la sandía, watermelon, okay, not to mix up with el melón, which is melon, sandía, watermelon. Of course, there's many more fruits, go through it, but these are maybe the most, sort of the furthest away from English. Las verduras o las hortalizas, two words to express the same vegetables. We have la zanahoria, carrot, la berenjena, aubergine, o la col, cabbage. Y las legumbres, pulses, we have los guisantes, peas, o los garbanzos, chickpeas. Okay? So in Spanish, if we're going to use any of these words, where could we use them? Okay, we could, if we were giving advice, we could say to people, for example, es importante comer pescado. Es importante comer pescado, to eat fish. O es recomendable recomendable comer marisco. O se recomienda, so this is recomendable is it is advisable, se recomienda it is advised. Okay, so two different expressions to say exactly the same. Se recomienda, and then other interesting expressions. Evitar tomar demasiada sal. Okay, it's recommended to avoid taking too much salt, or demasiado azúcar. O tienes que, you have to, tienes que evitar la comida basura, junk food, la comida basura. Tienes que evitar la comida precocinada, ready meals. O debes reducir el consumo de, for example, carne roja. You must reduce the consumption of red meat. Okay, so all of these expressions here are really important to give advice and give sort of general statements on what's important, and all those here are, verbs that would help you talk about this, like health in terms of eating, okay, or drinking. So we got here some drinks, las bebidas. ¿Qué bebidas tenemos? Como bebidas tenemos, tenemos el agua. But remember, agua, although we say el agua, it's actually a feminine word, okay? So any adjectives that go with it will need to be in feminine. El agua con, el agua con o sin gas, okay? Still or sparkling water. También tenemos los refrescos, it's like pop or generally speaking, non-alcoholic drinks that are not water. Okay, refrescos con gas o refrescos sin gas. También tenemos el alcohol o las bebidas alcohólicas. Okay. Y también tenemos las bebidas energéticas. Las bebidas energéticas, energy drinks, o las bebidas con cafeína. Caffeinated drinks, yeah? So we could say with this, for example, es recomendable no beber muchas bebidas con cafeína, por ejemplo. Ok, vamos a ver los hábitos, ok, los hábitos saludables, healthy habits, ok. ¿Qué se recomienda? ¿Qué es importante? Pues es importante dormir o descansar, to sleep or to rest, descansar. dormir. But what else? What more detail could we say? Okay, so es necesario acostarse pronto o temprano, going to bed early, temprano, okay? O no acostarse tarde, not going to bed late. Or we could talk about as well, acostarse is also a synonym of ir a la cama, to go to bed. Okay? So acostarse, ir a la cama mean the same thing. También es importante levantarse pronto. Okay? So these two important verbs, acostarse, to go to bed, levantarse, to get up. También es importante dormir 8 horas, okay? O un mínimo de 8 horas. También es muy importante o es recomendable hacer ejercicio físico o mantenerse en forma, to keep fit, mantenerse en forma. So here, remember, if I say I do exercise, hago ejercicio, if I say I keep fit, me mantengo en forma. And ways of mantenerse en forma, okay, we can say correr, or remember also expressions like hacer footing, to go jogging, hacer footing, o pasear, to go for a stroll, o ir de paseo, which means the same. Okay. Otras maneras de mantenerse en forma es, un hábito saludable puede ser perder peso, okay? To lose weight. If you're overweight, that will be a healthy thing to do. Another word is adelgazar. Adelgazar is to get thinner, perder peso, to lose weight. We can also talk about ganar peso, to put on weight, which can be a healthy thing for some. And we can talk about engordar, to get fatter. También es importante o imprescindible evitar el estrés. To avoid stress, evitar el estrés. Y también es importante evitar las adicciones. ¿Qué adicciones hay? Pues, por ejemplo, hay adicciones como fumar o el tabaquismo. Okay, 2 words for smoking, fumar y el tabaquismo. Por lo tanto, es importante no fumar. Let's also remember the word cigarrillo. Cigarette, cigarrillo. También es importante no drogarse, not take drugs, okay? O no tomar drogas. Okay? Remember, there's the expression drogas duras, hard drugs, y drogas blandas, soft drugs. And we've also got words like, for example, los porros, things like joints. Y también otra adicción puede ser el alcoholismo. Okay, o beber demasiado. To drink too much. Beber demasiado. And remember an expression, Spanish expression, which is el botellón. El botellón, which is when groups of friends have drinks like out in the park. We call that el botellón. And also important expressions like, for example, estar borracho, to be drunk, o emborracharse. Emborracharse, to be to get drunk. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to say she got drunk, se emborrachó. It's a reflexive verb. It's something we do to ourselves in Spanish. Okay. An important expression as well, when you have something like an addiction and you stop doing that, you can use the expression dejar de, okay, to stop. So you could say, for example, dejé de beber, I stopped drinking. Dejé de fumar, I stopped smoking. Dejé de tomar drogas, I stopped taking drugs. Okay, so important expression, dejar de. And then another way of being healthy is also by avoiding illnesses, las enfermedades. Las enfermedades. So what vocabulary is important to know in the section of health? Well, first of all, we need to make sure we know parts of the body, okay, el cuerpo. But also that we know things like organs, los órganos, okay? Things like el corazón, the heart, los pulmones, the lungs, el hígado, the liver, el cerebro, the brain, okay? These could come up because many diseases may affect this. An important thing is to be able to express dolor, pain, okay? So expressions like, for example, me duele, something hurts me, or me duelen, when there's more things that hurt. So for example, me duele la cabeza, my head hurts, or me duelen las muelas, my teeth hurt. Okay, synonymous of me duele is tengo dolor de. So for example, tengo el dolor de espalda, my back hurts. Okay, so important expression, me duele, me duelen, but also tengo dolor. Why may something hurt? Well, maybe I've broken it, so I may want to say me he roto, for example, me he roto la pierna, I have broken my leg. So me he roto, I've broken. I could also say me he torcido el tobillo, I've twisted my ankle, torcido. O me he quemado la mano, I have burnt my hand. Okay, so these are some possible causes. Other things we can say when we are under the weather, we could say, for example, no me encuentro bien, I don't feel well. O me encuentro mal, I feel bad. Or I could say, for example, estoy resfriado or resfriada if I have a cold. I could say tengo la gripe, for I have a flu. Or things like tengo tos, I have a cough. And then there are some diseases, some conditions that's worth mentioning because you may come across it in writing. For example, we could talk about el cáncer or cancer. We could talk about el SIDA, AIDS. Also someone who's HIV positive. We talk about someone being seropositivo. This may come up, especially if you're doing higher, okay? And another common disease, unfortunately, is something like el ataque cardíaco, a heart attack, el ataque cardíaco, okay? And of course, remember that also in the topic of illness, you may again be given advice. So things like tienes que, tendrías que, you should, tienes que o tendrías que, so you have to or you should. Also debes or deberías, meaning a similar thing. Okay, descansar, tomar unas pastillas, a tablet, o ir al médico, o tomar un jarabe, have a medicine, liquid medicine, etc. Okay, So lots and lots of things to look at if we want to have a healthy life. And very quickly, let's have a look at the second part of the second bit that I wanted to touch upon, which was volunteering, el voluntariado, volunteering. What things do I need to bear in mind when I'm talking about volunteering? So, el voluntariado if someone is a volunteer, we would say, for example, we would say que alguien es voluntario o voluntaria. Okay, notice there's not un voluntario, but we can talk about someone being el voluntario. Okay, being a volunteer, el voluntario. And what do I do when I volunteer, when I'm involved in an association? I can do several actions. So first of all, I could say, I can talk about organizar, to organize. I can talk about organizar una campaña de concienciación o de sensibilización. Okay, a campaign to make people conscious, aware of something. Okay, so I can talk about organizar. I can talk about participar en una campaña, to take part. I can talk about ayudar, to help, ayudar en una campaña. Or I can talk about colaborar, colaborar en una campaña. So notice that I can organize it or I can take part in it in different ways. Or I can talk about contribuir a, okay, to contribute to una campaña. Okay, so there are different things I can do if I'm being sort of socially active. But what other things? I can also for example, different actions I could do. I could say I could colaborar en, what sort of places could I help in? Okay, I could colaborar en una iniciativa, in an initiative. I could colaborar en una tienda benéfica, a charity shop, o en una tienda solidaria, same thing. I could say colaborar en una residencia de ancianos o de la tercera edad, en una protectora de animales, animal shelter, en una iglesia, a church, o for example, en un grupo de jóvenes. Okay. And other things I could do, other than help in all these places, I could do things like, for example, recaudar, to collect, recaudar funds, recaudar dinero. I could also recoger, to collect, recoger firmas, signatures, o recoger comida. Okay, for example, para el banco de alimentos, the food bank, el banco de alimentos. Or I could also talk about donar, to give, o hacer un donativo. Okay, so donar o hacer un donativo is to make a donation. Okay, and I could also talk about, for example, dar sangre, to give blood. Okay, and if I'm doing all of this, what I'm generally doing when I'm volunteering and I'm helping others, the ultimate point is probably luchar por un mundo más justo. Okay, luchar, to fight for a fairer, justo, fair world, mundo. Okay, so I'm going to leave the volunteering and the healthy living here, and I'm going to be straight back. Bienvenidos de nuevo. So that's healthy living, that's volunteering. Of course, there is much more vocabulary that you can learn, a lot more, especially as I just said as well, in the, you know, in terms of fruit, vegetables, generally the topic of food. There's tons of vocabulary you could know, and much of it you have already learned during Key Stage 3 and GCSE, but please do revise it, okay? And also things like parts of the body, which I didn't go into for the issue of matter of time, but do have a quick look, and you know, things that, especially the typical things that might hurt, okay? I mentioned some organs, which is the typical thing to forget to revise, and if you do Latin, or if you do science, or if you do PE, you may know the Latin words for those organs, or words related to it, but if you don't, maybe you might struggle a bit more. So, James, ¿qué tal? ¿Alguna pregunta?
Sí.
¿Qué? Dime, ¿qué pregunta tienes?
Okay, I'm going to ask in English. Could you describe to us in Spanish, please, the contribution you have made today and to come this evening to a healthy lifestyle? Okay.
So the question could be, for example, ¿qué haces para llevar una vida sana? That could be a typical question that you may be asked in your writing. And now all the speakings are gone. Okay, so para llevar una vida sana, normalmente intento comer fruta y verdura, y a veces hago un poco de ejercicio físico. Esta noche, hoy, voy a ir a un entrenamiento de fútbol con mis hijas y voy a practicar fútbol durante 1 hora. Y seguramente será muy cansado y voy a sudar mucho, porque no se me da muy bien el fútbol. No se me da bien.
¿Has entrado antes el fútbol?
He entrenado una vez.
Ajá.
Sí. Esta noche será el segundo entrenamiento. Así que no soy muy buena al fútbol. No. Pero bueno, normalmente me gusta ir en bicicleta para llevar una vida sana.
¿Y irás en bicicleta al entrenamiento o no?
Sí, seguramente iré en bicicleta hasta el entrenamiento.
¿Las hijas también?
También. Y después volveré muy cansada en bicicleta. Y espero no romperme una pierna o un pie o un brazo. Cruzo los dedos. So, ¿y James, tú qué haces para llevar una vida sana?
Bueno, esta noche tengo un live stream.
Ajá. O sea que esta noche no llevarás
y una reunión de compañeros de un curso que estoy estudiando.
De acuerdo, pero normalmente, ¿qué haces para llevar una vida sana?
Bueno, entreno al fútbol. Soy entrenador de un equipo de adultos, de hombres. Y igualmente a ti intento comer. Intento comer la fruta, la verdura, y no como demasiado de carne.
No comes demasiada carne.
No,
porque antes eras vegetariano, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Muy bien. Pero ahora ya no eres
De
vegetariano.
momento no, pero al futuro sí.
En el futuro serás.
Yo prefiero comer un tipo de régimen,
¿Régimen o dieta?
dieta sin carne.
Perfecto, muy bien. Así que en el futuro podríamos decir, en el futuro volveré a ser vegetariano. Volveré a ser. I will be again. So it's a nice expression. Muy bien, perfecto. Pues ahora que tenemos la vida sana, tenemos el voluntariado, vamos a mirar un poco los verbos modales. What are modal verbs? Without trying to tell you too much, basically, modal verbs are those things that are going to allow us to say things like I want to do this, I need to do that, okay, or I should do this or that, okay. So James, are we ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so let's have a look at what are the modal verbs, verbos modales. Okay, so modal verbs, verbos modales. What are these? Okay, these verbs help us say things like what I or someone should do, wants to do, has to do, needs to do. Okay, so it's modal verbs. Yes, I've things like to have to, must, need. Things like shall or should. Okay, these are all modal verbs, and they are really important because they help us add a little bit of different sort of nuances to what we say. Okay, allow us not to say, all make it really factual. This is what it is. This is what I do. This is where I go. This is where I went. No, it's like this is what I have to do. This is what I'm going. Not I'm going to do. This is what I need to do. This is what I should do. This is what I'd like to do. Okay. So, firstly, they add interest. Okay, they make our writing a bit better. They also allow us to, for example, give advice. It's the sort of thing that when we were talking about healthy living, we were saying things like, for example, tengo que comer, I don't know, tengo que comer, if I want to say tengo que comer más verdura, okay, this tengo que is the I have to, so in a way I'm using a modal, okay, but also we can use this to give advice, so I can say tienes que comer más verdura or más legumbres, for example. Okay, I could also say, instead of tienes que, I could also use debes comer. Okay, we'll see them in a second. The other thing is that if you look at this example, for example, okay, tienes que, or if I use the debes comer, okay, or if I wanted to say necesito, I don't know, perder peso, I need to lose weight, or quiero ser voluntario o voluntaria, quiero ser voluntaria. Okay, here I'm using modal verbs to start with, and then notice what happens here. Quiero comer, quiero perder, quiero ser. These modal verbs, whether they're in the present, past, future, they are followed, okay, they're followed by infinitive. Okay, they're followed, not infinitive, infinitive. They're followed by a verb in the infinitive form. So this means that even if the verb I'm going to be using after that modal verb is going to be a very irregular verb, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to be using it in the infinitive. So, verbs that we may be a bit scared of sometimes are verbs like tener or ser or estar or ir or ver. Okay, some verbs tend to be regular in many ways. Okay, if I just say, if instead of saying, for example, I see this, I say I need to see this or I want to see this, it doesn't matter then whether ver is regular or irregular, because what I'm going to be using is the infinitive, okay, after the conjugated verb. So yes, okay, you have to learn the modal verb and the conjugation of the modal verb, but once you know that, which to be honest, they are very common verbs, what comes after is very easy, okay? So the verbs we're going to see are these here. So here we've got them in their present form. So this tener, and I've put the que, okay? Que is not part of the verb. This is to have to, okay? So this que is like this to in a way, okay? And the tener is to have. Deber, it's like the must, okay? Necesitar is need, to need. Poder is to be able to or can, okay? And querer is want, okay? So here we've got the forms in the present, and as you will be able to see, some of them are irregular. So for example, tener, you already know the verb tener, so tengo que, tienes que, noticing irregularity here, tiene que, tenemos que, tenéis que, tienen que, okay? So for example, if I want to say we have to, we have to give money. I don't know why someone would have to rather than want to, but anyway. Tenemos que dar dinero, okay? So because it's we have to, we need this tenemos que, okay? Tenemos que, and give money is dar in the infinitive followed by money, okay? The verb deber in the present tense is completely regular. Yo debo, I must. Tú debes, you must. Él, ella debe. Debemos, debéis, deben. Completely regular. An example of this could be, for example, they must exercise more. They must exercise more. Okay, I'm going to take this one because it's they, deben, and then to, in Spanish we would say to do more exercise. Deben hacer más ejercicio. Okay, and deben in the they form, and notice that hacer is in the infinitive form. Then I've got the verb necesitar, to need. So yo necesito, tú necesitas, I need, you need, he or she needs, we need, you guys need, they need. Notice this one is also regular. Okay, so deber, it's regular, necesitar is regular as well. And what could I, what sentence could I make with this? Okay, let's imagine I want to ask some, a group of people, do you need to have a rest? Do you need to rest? Okay, do you need to rest? I'm asking more than one people, more than one person. So I'm going to use this one, necesitáis. So do you need to rest would be necesitáis, and then to rest, descansar. And I would put question marks to make it a question. Necesitáis descansar? Do you need to rest? And I've got the necesitáis in the you plural form and descansar in the infinitive, to rest. We've also got poder, to be able to. This one is irregular. As you can see here, puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, podéis, pueden. Okay, so it develops this you, which is to be able to or can. So I could say, for example, let's say I can help at a old people's home. So I'm volunteering and I'm going to say I can help at an old people's home. So I'm going to use this one and I would say puedo ayudar en una residencia de ancianos. Okay? And we've got here puedo, I can, and then I've got the ayudar, to help, in the infinitive. And then I've got the verb querer, to want, also irregular, so it does quiero, quieres, quiere, so I want, you want, he wants, so she wants. Queremos, queréis, quieren, so queremos is we want, queréis, you guys want, quieren, they want. And a sentence with this could be, for example, if I ask someone, do you want to collaborate? Do you want to take part? Do you want to collaborate? Okay, so if I ask to one single person, I will use this one for do you want? ¿Quieres? ¿Quieres? And to collaborate, colaborar. ¿Quieres colaborar? Do you want to take part? And I've got the quieres in the you form, you singular, and colaborar in the infinitive. Okay, so if you can see, some of them are irregular, so you'll have to memorize those, but what comes after is infinitive, so it's easy peasy. Okay? So, also, of course, if you notice, we can also, as I said before, you can also use this to give advice or to tell people what they have to do. So, for example, if we use especially these forms, the you form, tienes que, debes, necesitas, puedes, as a suggestion, you could, you can. Quieres, no, you can't tell someone to want something. But you can say to someone, like here, like instead of they must do more exercise, I could say tienes que hacer más ejercicio. You must exercise more. Or for example, you have to, if I want to say, for example, you have to lose weight. Debes perder peso. O necesitas estar en forma. You must be fit. Okay, necesitas estar en forma, and so on and so forth. So this is what we're going to use for to give advice or to make suggestions. Okay. Now these verbs here, we've got them in the present. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use if I'm saying what I must do, I have to do, I want to do, etc. But of course they can be used in many of the tenses, well, in all the tenses basically. So what would happen if I was writing about the past? Okay, so if I'm writing about what I had to do, what I wanted to do, what I was able to do. So here, for example, if I have them in the imperfect. Okay, I could also use them in the preterite, I could use them in many tenses, but I've chosen here to show you the imperfect, just to show you that it's not only, okay, we don't only use them in the present tense. Okay, so if I want to say, I don't know, I'm describing a situation where we were trying to help people and we couldn't, and I want to say we could not help. We could not help those people. Okay, we could not help those people. Okay, so I'm going to look for could. We could. Okay, we could. Podíamos. So that's going to be podíamos. Because it's we could not help, I'm going to say no podíamos. And then now I need the help. So to help is ayudar. And then those people would be a esa gente. Okay, so notice how the verb poder is in the imperfect, okay, in the we form of the imperfect, but the verb ayudar, to help, is still in the imperfect. It hasn't changed. Okay, I could say instead of we couldn't help those people, I could say, for example, they wanted They wanted to launch a campaign. They wanted to launch a campaign. So I need the they wanted, which is going to be this form, querían, they wanted. And then I need the to launch, which is lanzar, a campaign, una campaña. Okay, and notice that when we are doing the imperfect, in the imperfect, all of these verbs are regular. Okay, there are no irregularities amongst these verbs in the imperfect. So that is good news. And it means that if you feel very insecure about using them in present because there are irregularities, well, maybe you should then try and use them, for example, when you're talking in the past tense. Okay, and then it also saves you doing past tenses with other verbs. It's just a suggestion. Okay. And then the other case where another tense where these verbs are very, very much used is in the conditional. Okay, in the conditional. Because what is the conditional? Okay, so here the verb tener, if I say yo tendría que, okay, this is I would have to. Okay, so I'm going to give you the I, but it's the same. You would have to, he or she would have to, we would have to, you guys would have to, they would have to. Okay, so it's the conditional. Deber. Debería is I should. So I should, you should, he or she should, we should, you guys should, they should. Okay, so think of how many times you say things like, oh, you should, or I should. Okay, so there you go. This is the conditional of deber, debería, and notice this is completely regular. Use it to say should. Okay, necesitar. So necesitaría is I would need to. Poder, so podría, I would be able to, or I could. Okay, it's either I could or I would be able to. And querer, querría, notice this one is irregular because it's querría, no querería, querría. And tendría is also irregular. Yeah, so querría is I would want to. So let me again give you a few examples of some sentences. Okay, so these, of course, it comes especially handy when you're writing about things like volunteering or changing the world, or what would people need to do. Okay, so what should we do? Okay, what if I said we should raise money? We should raise money. Okay, so we should, it's going to be here, deber, we should, deberíamos. Deberíamos, verb deber in conditional, and now all I need is to raise, recaudar, and money, dinero. And notice this again is in the infinitive. Okay, another thing I could say, for example, they could organize a campaign. They could organize a campaign. They could organize a campaign. So they could is going to be here with poder. So they is going to be this one. So they could is podrían. And then all I need to put is organize. To organize a campaign, to organize is organizar, and a campaign, una campaña. Okay, so please notice how useful this is going to be when it comes to, precisely if you have to write about things like the environment, volunteering, things like homelessness, any topic where you need to sort of put forward, suggest what people could do, should do, need to do, what you would like to do. Okay, so all of that is going to be really, really, really useful. Okay, so I hope it has helped and I hope you get using this. I'll see you in a second.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay. Can you hear me? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So that was the I'm plugging my headphones onto the right place. That was the modal verb. So I hope you can appreciate how useful these could be, especially as I've mentioned already, because if you know these, if you know how to say, if you know quiero, puedo, necesito, okay, and maybe a few more forms, maybe the we form, queremos, necesitamos, podemos, debemos, tenemos que, then you can use, if you then know the infinitives of verbs, then you can make up sentences very, very easily, which not only they are actually relatively easy to do, but also they sound much more sophisticated, okay? So rather than saying, for example, I don't know, como fruta, if you say quiero comer fruta or necesito comer fruta, that is actually a much better sentence, which is not much more complicated to do, because all you've done is use there the present, first person present of the verb necesitar or querer or whatever it is, okay? So I would really recommend you learn the I forms of maybe a couple of tenses of these verbs. So the present and the conditional might be the more useful ones. If you want to go even further, maybe also learn the we form, and then maybe the he, she, okay? It really depends on how much or how little you want to learn. But I would say the priority is the I form of the present, followed by probably the conditional, so that you can express wishes, what you would like to do, what would like to happen, what you should do, etc., etc., okay? Also within this group of verbs, although it isn't, but we could also group the expression me gusta or me gustaría, okay? Expressions like me gusta, me gustaría, they would also be followed by infinitive, okay? So for example, me gustaría hacer más ejercicio, okay? O me encantaría hacer más ejercicio. They're not modals per se, but you can use them as a modals in the sense that the verb following also is an infinitive. Okay, so is that look meant to say it's time to go?
It is time to go, but I was trying to decide whether to go for a slightly controversial question or not.
I don't know.
Shall I resist?
I don't know. It depends on how controversial it is, or otherwise.
I'd like you to use a series of modal verbs to describe how in the future you'd like your life partner to be better.
Oh, I think that is going to be controversial, and I think we've reached the end of our time. That would be far too complicated.
Is that too complicated?
Right now. I think so. Yeah, I think that would probably be an A-level thing.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay, pues. We'll leave this session here. I'll be here on Thursday. What time am I here on Thursday?
I think it's 1, but check.
I think it's 1. Yes, it is 1 o'clock for a little bit of environment and homelessness. Okay, all these social topics. We're getting into those social topics that need looking into, and also we're going to look a little bit at the present subjunctive. Really, really useful, especially if you're doing higher. I would really, really encourage you to use a bit of present subjunctive. Okay, so nos vemos el jueves a la 1 de la tarde. Hasta entonces, adiós.
Hasta luego.
The traditional classroom environment doesn't suit everyone. Students that don't fit this pace of learning begin to lose confidence. The problem is, the current learning model has holes in it. Luckily, the EverLearner.com is here to fill those holes. With the EverLearner Classroom, each student is given a chance to master each subject at their own pace. With thousands of video tutorials and tens of thousands of automated questions on the site, students can progress at their own individual pace. And because every interaction is tracked within the site, teachers can review students' progress and gain access to razor-sharp data. Teachers will have more time to engage with small groups and be better informed of where their time and support is needed. With the EverLearner, teachers can leave the traditional model behind and become facilitators, coaches, and inspirers. There's a reason we have over 100,000 registered students. To learn more, visit our website today.
Somehow I think that I lost my head, don't know why. I have realized when I'm with you, I wanna do what it takes to make you see. I have realized. I apologize for everything.